Hey guys, what's up everyone, and welcome to YungTytanWrld. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today we're gonna take a short break, even though I know I have not exactly been consistent with my reviews and uploads, but I can tell you it was all because of some change in scenery as well as some traveling that I had to do. So I do apologize for that, but that being said, let's talk about the topic of our conversation for today. Today, we're not doing any reviews, as I said before. Today, we're going to be giving off a letter I was supposed to give my best friend, a great source of encouragement, a great source of strength, and a great person to confide in. However, I did not have the courage to tell him this because I felt like if I did tell him, he would have done something about it. And believe me when I say that, I mean that with every positivity, that he was going to do something about it because he truly cares and there is no one like him. I don't love this girl anymore. Let's just, he's the only person who actually knows who I'm talking about. Ever since we started in college together, in the university, it had always been my solemn vow to walk alone and be by myself. But there was one person who was constantly clawing his way back into my life, no matter how cold and distant I was. You could say that I was trying to ice everyone out so that I can get through college without making any attachments. But he was able to get past it, and he was able to establish a bond with me that I can only describe as unreal. In the 4 years that I was there, one particular point in time, we faced a new hurdle. He had his crushes, I had my crushes, and both of the girls didn't necessarily fit in to that dream or that crush that we had. He had a crush with a girl that was absolutely nice, pretty, sweet, beautiful, whatever you'd want to put as an adjective for such a person. She was amazing, all right? But she had a boyfriend. And not only that, she was loyal to him, she liked him, but my dear brother was head over heels in love with this girl. And to the point where he could not keep his feelings to himself anymore, so he tried to reach out to her, try to establish a bond of some kind, but it only ended up getting worse. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it was a simple journey, but the entire class found out that he had a crush on her and that she shot him down from heaven and sent him straight to hell with a proposal that he thought was going to save the world, but ended up destroying his. Anyways, he went through the ringer. Like, he was completely still persistent. From 1 to 4, he was still on this girl. And even now, if an opportunity presents itself for him to chase after that bitch, he would do so in a heartbeat because he believes that the girl is truly worth his time and resources. I on a certain point, I on a certain plane had a crush on her, but it was a tiny bit. You know how Joey had a crush on Rachel during the time that she had a baby with Ross and it was weird and awkward? You know that moment? That's exactly what I think happened to me. I had a tiny crush on this girl. And I even told him, just like Joey told Ross, but I didn't really act on it. I just felt like because we had been talking about her so much, I had formed a sort of fondness to her. And even one such occasion, I agreed to get close to her. so that in a certain way, I would be his spy in order to know what she would like, what she wouldn't like, and probably find a way to bring the two together. Sounds ridiculous, but, evidently it sort of worked, but I jeopardized myself when I realized that she noticed that I was a friend of his, and therefore she iced me out as well. Anyways, I'm not here to talk about his story. I'm here to talk about mine. Mine was because of one interesting person that we included into our group studies, and it was his intention that he was going to help everyone to get better grades. Now, I am not going to brag and say I was a whiz myself, but I was as average can get. All right, I'm the best kind of average you'd ever want to see in your life. And I have the marks to prove it. All right, the B's and C's are all in my attic, man. They're up in my crib and they are loaded to the core. Anyways, we decided to do this group studies thing. This girl was invited and we started it. I know, first to me, I was like, there is no way I'm going to give this person any attention at all. I'm going to silence it out and forget about it. Make peace with the past. Well, you know what? There's no way that I can live with such a burden. So I must just pour it out of my mouth, because that is usually the only way that I let things go. I could try and scream in the middle of the street when there are no cars crossing, but I feel like this one goes on a lot more of a higher level. Pour all your pain in a bottle and dump it into the sea. If it comes back, at least you could do something about it. Or you can compare yourself to the person telling it to the person in the past, or with the person in the past, okay? Anyways, let's get back to the story. So, we start the group studies. We get past introductions. We know who we are. I also know that this girl is in a relationship. And according to her, happily in a relationship. No problems, no squabbles, no nothing. She's living the perfect life of a happy college girl with an amazing boyfriend. So she says. But as time progresses, we realize that this girl has issues with the guy. I mean, it's not like close contact we see all this drama unfold. It starts with, those lovey-dovey scenes that you see in movies where you'd see those two buying something together, being cute at a corner, or just being really, really, really icky with each other. And that's lovely. We all wish for the progress and the prosperity of every relationship that revolves around us, even though we have no business whatsoever doing with them, like having anything to do with them. Anyways, so as time goes on, there is a problem, a really serious problem. Seems to us that we're spending a lot more time in this group studies, and I'm getting more attached to this girl. Now, mind you, during this, I was actually trying to repel this person. But whether I liked it or not, this was going to be an undeniable or irreplaceable member of this team. So, I guess we're going to have to progress with me trying my possible best to be nice to her. I did that, formed a really cool bond. But then we started seeing the dark side of her boyfriend. Dude was possessive as fuck. He was the right level that I would want to be. You see, in my mind's eye, I have the perfect Batman boyfriend. And the perfect Batman boyfriend is the guy that swoops in on every single conversation that my girlfriend has and tries to check in to see if she's cheating. Now, all of this was influenced by porn. Let me explain. You know those kind of porn videos that start out with the girl calling the guy and the girl cheating on the boyfriend while she's on the phone, right? Yeah, well, that was one of the first pieces of porn material that I was exposed to. So in my mind's eye, I was like, oh dear me. Every single girl that's gonna come my way is gonna do this exact shit because they love it. And so I was like, in my mind's eye, whatever that the boyfriend was doing seemed quite logical. Hold on to your bitch, man. Hold on very tight. But she considered it to be very unreasonable. Like helicopter parenting, only it's helicopter boyfriending. And it was crazy because then he would swoop in on our group studies. He'd be watching out from the window. You try to go take a piss and you realize that this guy's hovering around the classroom. It was a lot. And I don't know, I guess I got a little bit worried because at any moment in time that we shared a laugh or two, it kind of made us targets. And to be honest, that's what we became. And it was no longer something that he could just wait in the shadows for it to happen. It was something that was very visible. And so he decides to confront this girl that I have a crush on, who is his girlfriend. And it doesn't go so well. They have a couple of fights. Not going to get into the details. But they are at a very shaky state in their relationship. And it would seem quite ridiculous and stupid of myself to be the person to always be constantly showing up at her doorstep. In fact, one would say it's suicidal to go and visit the girlfriend of a guy who is emotionally unstable and is constantly having a fight because we have group studies with his girlfriend. So, in that situation where, I don't know, I'm crazy. I am over the top crazy because I'm not thinking about the consequences. I'm constantly visiting her and she's constantly making excuses not to show up to the freaking show, to the freaking studies. She's not showing up. We get worried. We try to go visit her. But let me just make this clear. I am the only person suggesting that we go visit this chick. Everyone is like, the show must go on. Let's just do it without her. But no, not Young Titan. No, not on his watch. In fact, let's make a group that will go and take care of her. Number of people in the group, 1. Who is that? Young Titan. And it became clear to me that I was obsessed with this girl and I actually had feelings for her. But I'm not going to continue the story because I've reached my place of work. And my place of work requires my absolute attention. So I'll talk to you guys in the next one, alright? Watch out for part 2. Until next time, Young Titan out. Thanks for listening.